Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for joining. And today we'll talk about uh, perseverance and integrity. So first, we're going to talk about perseverance. First of all, perseverance is the quality of not giving up even when it gets hard for you to achieve something. So, like one of the major qualities you need to succeed. For example, suppose you want to suppose you face a difficulty while completing something. And if you have perseverance, you won't give up on it. You'll continue. It's a great quality of courage. And it means that you're able to continue on the path you chose, regardless of the obstacles, regardless of the odds. And also, Thomas Edison is an example of it. He failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. And in fact, he said, I haven't failed. I just found 10,000 ways that haven't worked. And Nelson Mandela spent 27 years of his life in prison for his noble cause. And Nelson Mandela was the civil rights activist in South Africa. And for him to end discrimination there, he even had to suffer long imprisonment at one point. But he did. And eventually, the discrimination came to an end. Next, we have integrity. First of all, integrity means doing the right thing when nobody's looking. It means being true to yourself and being true to the external world all the time. And it's like the opposite of hypocrisy. Hypocrisy means being something that you're not. Suppose you want to be something on the inside, but then you're being something different on the outside, just to make a statement. For example, mm, if you if you wear if you wear spiritual clothes and spiritual body marks on the outside, but then on the inside you're not spiritual at all, then that's hypocrisy. And integrity is a virtue. It's not just a virtue, it also refers to a character. And there are well-known proverbs to support this quality, like honesty is the best policy and truth always triumphs. And this is more than stealing from other people. This is about being true to yourself in the external world at all times. I have some examples of integrity. I'll tell you the long story short. Once upon a time, there was a king who wanted to choose their successor. But then, for him to choose his successor, I called everyone, including a boy from a village, for a simple task. He gave them a plant each. Each person got a plant, and then the boy from the village got actually the seed. He gave all of them a seed. Each person got a seed, and the seed that uh, all of the entire group got was dead. It didn't work, including the one the village boy got. Then he said that and then he said that take these seeds home. They took it home, and then the boy from the village just kept the seed. He didn't swap it or anything. But then the other guys swapped it. So finally, when they came a year later, the king said that, look, I gave you all the seed. The seed didn't work. But then all of you swapped it. Mm. And there was this other guy here. This other guy, he kept the seed I gave, mm, even if it didn't mean that he would get beautiful plants like yours. So, so this boy from the village is the next king. Such is the power of integrity. And there's a very great story. And there's another very great story. And this story is in, as we know, it's a story of a manager from a company. So once upon a time, there was a company which or didn't have, or which didn't have that much of great management. And then the CEO wanted like COI, so the CEO disguised themselves as a person from the street, as a poor guy. Then, like, comes to the office one day, and the manager sees it, and then the manager says like, "Get out." And the manager like also like uses bad words and insults the poor guy. And obviously the poor guy feels offended. When the manager has an assistant, the assistant is nice to the or to the homeless guy. He says like, "What do you want?" Oh, and then they have like this discussion, everything, and then the assistant helps the homeless guy. Then finally the homeless guy reveals and his true colors. But then before that, something dangerous happens. Something bad happens. The manager sees the his assistant firing, helping the homeless guy, and then the manager like fires his assistant. Assistant fired, and then at that point, the homeless person says, "I'm actually the CEO. Manager, you're fired since since you made your mistake." But then the manager said, "Look, if I would have known who you were, then I wouldn't have done that." But then the homeless person, the CEO, says that you shouldn't treat people like that, however they are. You show that you didn't have any integrity. And so the assistant manager will replace you. And in fact, I might even think about making the assistant manager my successor. And like the manager unfortunately lost his job and left. So this is the importance of integrity. We can see even in the real life when you're working or when it comes to companies who have integrity, they tend to like perform well when they're transparent and companies with like integrity tend to make the most money. Suppose that you want to earn money, but then you like take a lot of shortcuts, like do like a lot of illegal stuff to earn it. That's not gonna last. One day the cops are gonna come and then you're gonna lose it all. But then if you like do all the legal venues to get money, then that'll last, that'll grow. Nobody will take that from you. And also for integrity, I have an example in my life. For integrity and perseverance, there was this time where one day I had a test, and then for the test, and then it was like a take-home test in in math class. I kept using the notes on the test. I never used the internet. Actually, like same with my science tests. With some of my science tests, I never used the internet for them. The internet was like unblocked. I could use it if I wanted, but the teacher said I could only use the notes for them. So I only used the notes for them, even if it got hard. And I still managed to do good in them without cheating. So that's the topic. Thank you very much again. And now we're going to start meditation. Sit comfortably, cross your legs, clasp your hands, close your eyes, and be with the breath. Just observe the breath.